welcome to another episode of Notorious Momz, the podcast. I am here with my special guest, Leslie. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. Leslie, tell the people who you are and what you do, girl.
My name is Leslie. I am a body positive influencer with a comedic twist, and I'm also a plus size model.
Yes, I love it. When I saw you on Instagram, let me tell you, I first saw your page and I was like, oh my gosh, she is hilarious. I love your motivational posts. I think they're so great, especially, being plus size and body positive. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people may be a little bit uncomfortable with their skin, and their body. And I think it's really great that you go out there and you do what you do and you're beautiful and amazing. And that's so awesome. So you said that you're a plus size model. What inspired that for you?
Since I was younger, I knew I wanted to do something in the entertainment industry, whether it was dancing. My dream was to be a choreographer because I love to dance. Um, but that seemed like far fetched, especially being Dominican, growing up in Dominican household. It was not like something that was like a dream come true. Like, please, girl, okay, choreographer, you're gonna be. Ponte limpiar mejor. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly
Right.
what my childhood was, and I was kind of conditioned to go work at 9 to 5. In between all that, I found, myself, giving myself to other people. I worked in a hospital for 10 years, so I was giving myself to patients and just being this joyful, person, and just bringing all this energy all the time. I'm like, I should do something else with this. Like, this cannot be it for me, like, to be here. Yes, I'm doing something positive, but there needs to be more for that. It's not going to be easy,
Yes.
but there needs to be more.
Right.
Then when the platform of Instagram, became a thing, I took the opportunity to start building my portfolio. I've always known that I was pretty, but again, because of my Dominican background and,
Hmm.
the industry not accepting, people who look like me, I was didn't think that was possible either.
Right.
So what gave me the space was Instagram. So I started building my portfolio, taking pictures and putting them up there and just opened my page public, and that took off on itself, and I feel like it was the right timing because God's timing is the best timing.
Yes. Amen to that. I always say that. He's always on time when he needs to be. I'm a believer. I have my faith is in that.
Yes.
And I think that that's really a thing. I'm also from a Latin household. My parents are Puerto Rican. And that's how they live their lives as well. It was like 9 to 5, you have to work,
Yeah.
so they really instilled in me a work ethic. You get up early, you go to work, you fulfill your needs, you make your money, and that's kind of like it.
You go back and do it again tomorrow
Yes.
with a smile on your face.
Yes.
Left, right?
Right. Because, you're grateful to have a job. Because that
Eh,
was another thing. It's like, you get a good job, and it was like, be grateful that you have a job and you're making money. Everything else doesn't really matter. You want to talk about dreams and goals? What's that?
What's that?
We have none. You got to work.
Yes. 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 And I had my daughter at 21 too. So, that kind of obviously locked me down in a commitment for, for financial needs.
Yes.
I didn't have that option to be like, let me take, a few years off and see what I want to do. There's not such a thing. There wasn't such a thing. And when I did have those opportunities, I didn't believe that I could, So
Right.
again, God's timing brought me here. My kids are old enough to understand what I'm doing and what I'm doing it for, because it's not just because I want to be a pretty face somewhere on a billboard. It's to
Right.
be a motivation and inspiration for other girls who look like me to see themselves there as well before it's too late. Unfortunately, I'm going to say too late because there is a time frame for something like beauty, being out there, in the world, putting yourself out there. There is a
Is there like a specific time frame? What's the time frame on that?
well, I would say when you're feeling your best, right? And I'm gonna say the time frame. That is a time
Right.
frame
Right.
because you may give your best, you may look your best, but not feel your best.
Right.
You may be in a time in your life. This is the best timing for me, right? Because this is where I feel my most confident. I have my family's support, right? This is the good time for me.
Right.
So again, maybe that time won't be for somebody else. So there is, maybe I said it wrong. Maybe there is no age, there is no age time, but there's
Right.
time in your life. So if I
Right.
can inspire you, whatever time in your life you're in, that's what I would like to do. So I'm going to
Right.
rephrase that because there is
Right.
no age in this beauty industry. You can literally be
Right.
80, 90, and if you feel good enough to be in front of that camera, they'll welcome you.
Yes.
And
No,
thankfully, the industry's opened up for that.
yeah, I have to say, like, I've seen a lot of pictures of like mature women in like their, 80s and their 70s. And first of all, they look great.
Yes,
They look like they can be, in their 40s.
yes,
And I feel the same way. Like, I, there's no like limit, right? I feel like everything is in everyone's time as well.
yes,
How you feel about yourself at this particular time. I feel like you can do anything you want, you
right,
know? So
yes.
that's like really important. So when we talk about like a time limit, did you ever feel like going through this journey, right? How long have you been on this journey?
Well, influencer 2 years and a model just, I'm going to have 1 year now, June 2nd.
Oh, okay. So this is new still. This is
This
like
is
in the baby stages.
this is new, but it doesn't feel like the baby stages. Crazy
Right.
enough, because I feel like I got lucky enough to have experience, to continue to experience. So I think my experiences have made me feel like, oh, okay, well, if this is what this will be moving forward, you know what I mean? This is not too shabby, you know.
Right.
It is though enlightening, to actually be in the industry and to just see it from afar.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the industry goes, how has that been for you? Because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about the beauty industry, the modeling industry. I remember way back when you had to be like a certain size and you had to look a certain way and you had to be a certain stature. And have you had any like discouraging moments while being in like the industry?
You know what? I feel very lucky and blessed and thankful that I have an amazing agency. Their name is Stets. So if any of your followers are interested in, taking that step of becoming a model, they are an amazing boutique agency. And that boutique agency means is a smaller agency.
Okay.
Literally have talents of all shapes and sizes from all walks of life. They are not discriminative. They don't discriminate in any shape, way, or form. Just put that out there. And with them, I feel like I've been blessed because there's been so many doors that have opened, and all of them have been very positive. I have not had a negative experience so far. You know,
That's
I
so great.
I feel like every room I have walked in, I've been welcomed in. And that has been very, 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 very like a breath of fresh air,
Right.
especially coming like my first job. Let me tell you, girl, my first job as a model ever was the Buchanan commercial, like a commercial. Like, and I went in literally not knowing absolutely nothing. I went for a fitting one day and I was like, oh my God, what the hell? It felt like I was, obviously, very first time doing some shit like this. And I
Right.
curse here.
Yes, you could curse.
And I walk in and I'm just like, oh my God, I see all these cameras and I'm just like, oh my God. And then, with the fitting, I went for the day of the shoot. And then I find out like that I'm gonna be like in the main and it's just like, oh my God, what? And there was no practice round. It was just like on. And
Mm.
exactly. My personality is that I'm very adaptive. Like I can be
Yes.
anywhere and I'm just like, okay, well, what I need to do. Okay. And again, I've always wanted to be in that industry. So to
Right.
me, I was like, oh snap, this is where it's at. Like I'm here. And that was my first and most amazing experience. Like it was just like such a good way to be introduced to the industry,
Right.
to what's to
Right.
come. And
Right.
from there on, I've just had, and I'm gonna apresionarme, tocar madera, because I've literally only had positive experiences, at least with the work that I've done.
That is so great. I think that's so like empowering, to know that that was like a great experience. And it's so good. It makes you feel so good, I'm sure, to walk into something like that. And it's like, wow, this is what it is. You know what I mean?
This
And
is
I'm
where
sure like the excitement and I guess it gives you more drive, right? Because you're in there, because I did a photo shoot. I did a professional photo shoot for the very first time, like a couple of weeks ago. And I felt like that too. I was like, "Oh."
yes,
I was like, "Yes, I feel so beautiful."
yes,
Um,
you are.
and it was very thank you. And it was very like guided, So I've never been in like a guided photo shoot. And he was like, do this and do that. And I felt very uncomfortable. He's like, do this with your mouth. And I'm like,
Which one? What the one you do with your mouth? The this?
he was like, so then I'm like, so I pop my lips. He's like, no, 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 no duck lips. He's like, just be normal. I'm like, listen, I don't know what normal is, but we'll see the pictures soon.
He asks you to do the face.
Yes, kind
Come
of like,
on. Like, I have one. I'm gonna send it to you so you can have laughter because I couldn't believe the man made me do that.
because it feels very unnatural.
Exactly.
Like,
Who wants
like
to know again? I don't do that. I used to be flirting around like that. Like a
it,
babe.
it felt very unnatural. And he was just like, okay, do this, do this. But it was awesome. And I think, and I said that, like, I posted about it. I'm like, if anyone has a chance to, ever get a guided photo shoot or something like that, if that's something you like to do, because I love to entertain too. Like, I've always felt kind of like you, like it's always been more. Like I want to do something more because I've been working a 9 to 5 since I was 14. I started working at 14 really
Hey,
young.
me too.
Hmm. And when the pandemic hit, I was like, no. I'm like, there has to be something else. And that's what kind of lit the fire under me to kind of like start and exploring different avenues of like entertaining
Yes. Yes. I'm so
because it's
happy.
possible. And I think that that's like a really good thing. Some people feel like it may not be possible because culturally, unfortunately, our cultures they don't how do you say, they don't push that.
They don't
That's not
support it.
something. Right.
They don't
Right.
believe it. They don't have
Right.
faith in it. They don't think that it's possible because they didn't get the opportunities. Unfortunately, our elders didn't get the opportunities to have those dreams, and if they did, it wasn't at that time obtainable because they had to provide. So
Right.
I feel like they don't even mean to squash our dreams. It's just not
Right.
what they know.
Right. Because the internet wasn't, it wasn't a thing back then.
Right.
There wasn't any cameras, there wasn't social media, there wasn't, YouTube where people were like putting up videos. So nobody really knew about that.
Yeah.
And, our elders are just like, eso palo jóvenes.
Eso para los jóvenes, or that's just not for you. That's not for us. You have how you gonna make money, and you know what's crazy that my parents. I have, like I told you, a year doing this, and my parents, until literally I was in LA. I got flown out for that job. Until
Yes, I
then,
saw
they
that.
did not feel proud of me enough to share like that I was doing something. I'm just maybe I'm just talking shit, but I felt like they were
But that's
more
how you felt.
exactly.
Right.
Um, that they were proud enough that they were like, "Ay, she's in LA. Ay, let's see, porque ella es modelo." Like now I'm down. But when I was doing this for a whole year, y'all like, you better not leave your job. You better not leave that because that money that's not gonna pay. And I'm just like, you can't open a door. You cannot open more doors if you don't close some. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I needed to close some on my end in order to open more. And that's just a step I took because I got the support of my husband. And that's
Right.
what the decision I was made. But they weren't happy about it. I'm 34 years old, and they were still like, no, like, and I get it, but it's like, how would I give myself a chance if I don't believe, if I don't
Right.
full heartedly believe that I can?
That was gonna be like my next question. Like, what has been like your fears like during this journey, if you have had any?
Yes, financial fears, financial fears. I have a family. You know what I mean? With this modeling stuff, you don't get paid right away. And that's
Right.
something that's not supposed to. You do a job in January, you can get paid literally for that job at the beginning of April, depending on their turnaround. So you will be consistently, I'm not gonna say struggling. You would need that support
Right.
from elsewhere, whether you're working or partner, you know what I mean, whether you're doing part-time work, because they suggest that you don't full-time work because modeling is very spontaneous. Like they may need you
Yeah.
for the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. If you have a full-time job, that won't work out for you.
Right.
Um, so I think that that's been my most, you know, where my struggles are. The inconsistency of my cash flow for me, at least, because, like I said, I've been working since I was 14, and that's all I know, a
Right.
consistent check. You
Right.
know, but
Right.
again, I am Black and mountains. I worry about that. God will make it come when it comes. And
Right.
that's a mentality that I've placed myself in. But those be my stresses, girl. I be stressed.
No, I don't blame you because I think, I think financially everyone has a concern, especially
Mhm.
like, I don't know what your financial situation is, but you've been working just like me. Like I wasn't born into a rich family. I wasn't born where people just like, oh, okay, you want to follow your dream? Here's some cash.
Mhm.
Take this and go. So it's like it's always been in the back of my mind. I had my son because I have two children as well. I have an 18, almost 18-year-old and an almost 3-year-old. So when
Wow,
I had
that's
my son,
example.
yeah, that's a long story for another day.
Right.
But, I had my son when I was 20. So, that was one of my things is like, okay, I have to work. I have to support I have to support my family. I have to support my kids. So
Right.
it's like just, getting up or just, it takes a lot of valor. Like, how do you say that in Spanish? It takes a lot of ¿cómo se dice? It takes a lot
Courage.
of courage. Yes. It takes a lot of courage to just be like, okay, this is my dream. I know it's going to work out and this is what we're going to do.
Yeah. I struggled a lot to leave my 9 to 5 job, especially the one I had because I did it remote. So it wasn't hard, it wasn't a hard job. It didn't ask a lot from me. I did great. I did. But again, it was creating this anxiety inside of me that I couldn't
Mm.
accept jobs of my like jobs like Buchanan because I had to work. You know what I mean? Like, and it was a lot of opportunities coming to me at the time that made me feel like, okay, well then maybe I don't need this job. I didn't know the turnaround with the cash. I didn't know other things I didn't know. You know,
Right.
so I was just dreaming. And I had the
Right.
opportunity, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, give it to me all." I would not say no to no. I would say no to nothing. Mind you, I had a full-time job, so of course, I wasn't gonna take all of them. But
All right.
in my mind, I was like, I can't do both. Like I'm gonna be doing bad at my job, which is not something that I'm okay doing. I'm
Right.
not really not doing my best.
Right.
And then I'm not gonna give my best to my dreams because I gotta take care of this. So it was just like, oof, like what do I do? And again, with the support of my husband, I made the decision to leave my job.
How did that feel for you when you finally decided to just, all right, I'm gonna leave it? Cause I'm like an overthinker with some things. Did you do like double dutch where you like, oh, I want to
Oh,
leave it, I want to go, I want to stay, I want to go? Did you do that a lot?
a lot, a lot. Tell you maybe like I got my the agency signed me in June. I got my first job in August. So from August to November, that's what went on my mind on a daily. Again, I didn't hate what I did, for
Right.
work. I didn't, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't stressful,
Right.
but it was time consuming and it was compliance consuming. So I needed to show numbers. I needed to be, the consistency they needed. Sometimes I'll get distracted naturally. I got a lot of things happening around me that they're not aware of, and it was just a lot.
Right.
And and I had some, personal things on my end too that was going on. So it was just like extra things.
Right.
And I was just like, I told them, listen, I love you guys, but I didn't tell them it was because I was going to pursue my dreams. Like I said, I had something else going on. So I was like, I'm going to focus on this right now. And
Hmm.
I feel like I'm going to give you my guys my all. And I don't want to be that person because that's just not who I am.
Right.
They understood. So maybe you want to come back, you could. And I'm just like, okay, see you later.
See you later. But that's so good. Like I think that's like the best feeling. Like I can't wait to be able to want to do that. That's something that like I'm really thinking about in the future. Like I don't want to have like a 9 to 5. Like I have a hustler mentality, but I want to be hustling for my own, because I think that's really important building generational wealth,
Mhm.
things that we weren't taught when we were little.
Yes, yes, yes. We were working check to check. You know what I mean? To
Mhm.
pay and to save for the next week, and then I've always with my mom. Thankfully, and my dad also. They're very big savers. They've always been in our whole lives. So anytime
Yes.
I haven't needed, I have needed, they've been able to help me.
Yes.
I was
Thank
full.
God for the parents. Cause I have those too. I got savers too.
Oh, girl, they be saving me. I just be like, I hate that I gotta ask you.
I-
Like, shit. But Bobby, you want me out?
Every I could definitely relate.
They'd be like, you have a whole husband. No, we need you.
Yes, yes. That is really the best. The support system is amazing to
I
have.
want to be that for my girls. I want to
Yes.
be able to be that person for them and my husband. Obviously, that's something that we're working on together.
Right.
But we really want to provide that security for them,
Yes.
because I'm not one of those parents who'd be like, at 18, te me va. I'm like, stay as long as you want. Let me help you. Do you
Yes.
want to do something for yourself? Do you have a dream? If you don't want to go to college, don't go. That's not for everybody.
Right.
Long as you finish high school, that's important for me. You know,
Yes.
that's all. I want you to do you. If you want to dance, sing, jump around, and then you don't, that's cool too.
Right.
I just want to give them the opportunity to do that. And my parents did financially that for me, but again, in a supportive, um,
Like follow your dreams kind of way.
way.
Yes, my son and I were just having that same conversation because he actually wants to go to college, so
Amazing.
he'll be graduating next month, and he picked a school, so he'll be going away to college, and that's something that
Oh,
he's really excited about. But I'm like,
congratulations to
look,
you.
oh, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. It was a hard road.
Yeah.
It was a
Sure.
hard road, but we made it,
Yeah.
and we're excited. So, and he's really excited, but we had that conversation. I'm like, "Listen, whatever you wanna do, I'm here for it." Whatever dream, whatever goal, whatever you aspire to do, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you. We gonna make it work. Whatever we
Yes.
gotta do.
Yes, yes, whatever that is. I'm so glad and happy that he's going to college. I mean, again, what does he want to do for his career?
He wants to do travel nursing, so he wants to go into medicine. He really he really
What
likes it.
boy?
And he likes people and he's very personable. So he's like, I
What
want to
sign is
travel.
he?
I want to be, he's a Scorpio.
Oh, yeah, so that's my little one.
Hmm.
So we already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Well, you have two girls. My daughter is also a Scorpio too, and so is my husband.
Oh
I'm in
my
a house
goodness.
full of, yeah.
And what are
Hmm.
you?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, all right. I'm a Pisces. So
Yes,
you
your
can
water sign.
study in anybody. So those
Yes.
Scorpios in and got chilling. It's a good household. It's a good household, right? It's fun.
Sometimes, girl.
No.
Sometimes.
Me and my
Scorpios have their moments.
Well, my little one, I'm gonna, say I got lucked out with her too, because not with me, like as a kid to me, and like, as to my husband, like chef's kiss, swear.
Oh my God,
With her
that's so
sister,
amazing.
they be at it, at it. And like with other people, she's also like, she might as well be a shape of a heart, like the sweetest, the most like, oh, like let's hug, I love you, like very much like that. Like thank God, because my older one,
Are they close in age?
no, they're 7 years apart.
That's why.
Yeah, but la dos a Libra.
Oh, those
This
Libras are a little rough.
is they are rough. They're rough around the edges, right? Me- but we get along. Now that she's getting older, she's 13. She's actually graduating from junior high school. She's going into high school now. So
Ooh,
I know we're getting ready for that new venture in our lives. But things
good.
are getting better the older she gets.
Yes,
The teen years were like rough, rough. We weren't understanding each other.
yes.
I was like, you better stop before I smack you.
Well, how was that for you? Because we always talk like, notorious moms. We talk a lot about mom stuff, but I'm very inclusive. I talk to everyone. If you see my other episodes, I talk to everyone about anything.
Love that.
But how was that like raising a girl and you have two girls, right?
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys like bump heads? Because my daughter, so she's only 3, and my son was very different.
Mm.
So how is it being a woman and having a girl in the household? You
You
got some advice for me?
you had a whole man and then a baby. Like the hell, that's cute, but I, 7 years was a lot for me, but it was because me and my husband we weren't together sometime
Mhm.
between
Mhm.
we had
Right.
her when we were 21, and then
Mhm.
I raised her basically most of her years since she was 6 by myself.
Got you.
So we had her and I had it was tough, but it was like she was like my sister. You know what I mean? It was you get it because you
Right. Of
son
course.
you had like a relationship like we're growing up together.
Yes, yes.
So that's what we had going on. But once I got back with her dad, and then we kind of got not kind we got married, and then I had my little one after I got married. Then that dynamic kind of got like a little like suspicious, like like what's going on here?
Right.
I can't say that it wasn't until like we moved to Boston from I'm from uptown Washington Heights. Like we were born and raised, and that's what we all lived.
Oh, girl, I worked there for a lot of years.
Where?
I was in the Heights on 168th Street, girl.
Where?
New York Presbyterian. I worked there
Same.
for like, yeah, I worked there for like 10 years.
So did I. What year?
Oh my God, I started in I've been gone 4 years.
I mean,
So,
you better stop. We live in the same life. I've been
hold
there
on.
years.
Wait, what department did you work in?
I worked in telecommunications for 9.
Oh,
Yes. So you probably spoke to me in
you
maybe
was
like
in IT?
yes.
I probably spoke, girl, stop it. I
Yes.
probably spoke to you a lot of times.
Yes. And
I worked in transplant. I
okay.
worked in lung transplant, and then I worked in the Department of Otolaryngology. I was there for the rest of my time.
And I worked in admin, so like patient access. So
Yes.
I worked there for a year. We
Let's
probably
see. I probably spoke to you before.
spoke, cross paths, something, girl. Yes. So what made you leave it?
Well,
I
so
know
I
I'm sorry.
started no, no, no. That's okay. I started there. So I started how old was I when I started? I started when I was like in my late 20s. So I think it was like around 2009, 2009, 2008, or maybe a little, maybe like 2010. Yeah. And I was younger then.
Yeah.
And the commute. So I live in Queens. I would
Oh,
commute 2 hours into Washington Heights. It
wow.
was a straight commute, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I got opportunities to grow. I started off as one thing and I was there all these years and it was really good. But then at like the ending part, I started getting older. I started I started getting more tired and the train rides started getting worse.
Mm.
Like I remember one time I rode with a whole dead guy like sitting on the train. Yes, girl. I have A train stories for days.
Remember, holy
Yeah,
guacamole.
literally. I rode with him until J Street Metro Tech. And then all of a sudden it was like, because I got on the train and usually I'm used to seeing homeless people. So he was there chilling. Ain't nobody bothering you. I'm sitting in my seat. We cool. And then all of a sudden I put my headphones in because that's what I used to do. I used to put my headphones in and fall asleep.
Oh wow. You trust that was real.
Girl, I'm
You
from
trust-
Brooklyn. So I would I would sit on that damn train, y a dormir se ha dicho. And then that particular day, like we got to J Street and I'm like, I see a lot of people, like a lot of movement. And I'm like, so I turn around and I'm like, hold up a second. so, so I was like, hold on. I'm like, so I take my earpod off and the guy's like, oh my God, he's dead. He's dead. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh my
I rode
God.
the whole time with a dead man.
Yes, you
The
did.
ambulance had to come. The police came, girl. It was so much drama. And then
Oh,
I was late to work, so I was pissed because I'm like, damn.
you know, write you up. You wanna get tú sabes. You gotta get a delegate. I know.
But yo, I'm like, I told my boss, I'm like, there was literally a dead guy on my train. Like, cut me some slack.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
how were
late.
they with you?
Oh, they were good.
Yeah.
They were good. I had some good bosses. I had
Yeah.
some not very good, so not so good bosses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
it's very corporate-y.
Yes, yes. Well, I started at 19. Imagínate. 19 years old. I didn't know any better. It felt like a dream come true working around where I lived. I was like, uy, living the life. Till I saw myself 10 years later going around in a fucking circle from one avenue to the next. Mira, mira, mira. I said to myself one afternoon, I said, this ain't life for you. And this is even before
Mhm.
I even believed in myself. I
Right.
said, this ain't life for you. Like you are sick. Like I was sick of it. Like literally sick
Yeah.
of it. I used to cross in between places that were new. I'm like, let me go up this block today and see what's up. Because I was legit like sick of it.
Yeah, right in that same area, St. Nicholas,
I lived
Broadway,
I worked in the
right
same
there in that same.
circle.
Mhm.
Circle, literally in a circle. And that was the best thing I did. I only left the job because I moved to Boston with my husband and his
How
job.
was Boston?
It was cute. It was cute. Like I grew, I grew. There was growth.
Right.
It
How
was
long did you live out there?
2 years and a half.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
you came back to New York.
I came back to New Jersey. That's where I live now. And we came back to back over here because my husband's job asked him to come back. So
Okay.
we were like, that doesn't sound bad. That's where family's at. And we've been here for 3 years. But now we're
Okay.
moving again
Where you moving to?
to MIA.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Get out of town. Are you excited?
You hear it first.
Notorious Mom's got the tea first. Yes.
I haven't said it anywhere on my Instagram yet.
Are
But
you excited?
yeah, I mean I am, but I'm also nervous and I'm thinking about my kids and school and all the things that come with moving, especially moving to another state again.
Girl, it's gonna be great. It's gonna
Oh,
be hot and it's gonna be good.
it's gonna be hot. I said, yeah, it's gonna be hot. Oh, let's queue for a couple of months here. I've never been the consistency
The
of
good thing is that you have short hair, so you
right.
could keep it cute, boo. It's gonna be all right.
I'm gonna keep it cute and sweaty. That's the worst part because I got short hair. So you can see the sweat dripping out. When you got long hair, it just blends in. Your hair absorbs that shit. When you got short hair, you can see
Girl,
it.
that Miami heat.
Yeah, don't
Whew,
even mind.
it's
Don't mind.
dangerous.
I'm I'm looking forward though to having the ability to go out after work and it still be light and it still be nice.
Yes.
Well, not after work, but like in the afternoon after the girls come out of
Yes.
school, like just to have that freedom and to be there for the summer too. Because I'm
Yeah.
leaving now in June.
Good for you. I'm excited. I'm excited for the new things coming for you.
Yes, you're gonna see new videos in the Sunshine State.
I can't wait. I'm excited because I love your videos, your motivational videos. They be keeping me in the morning. Sometimes I'm scrolling through Instagram and I just crack up laughing. I'm like, I needed this morning. Let me start my day now.
Amen. Amen. That's the reason why I love to do them in the morning because I feel like that's when people, are usually scrolling. And when, sometimes you don't wake up in a good mood. And if you see something funny or whether it's just, a picture of my face or whatever the hell, te sirve de motivación. Like, I
Yes.
have a come up story that has developed in front of everyone.
Yes.
I become whatever becoming now in front of everyone, and that to me again should serve for as motivation and
Yes.
inspiration for other people. And I guess I do it. That's why I continuously, even sometimes when I don't want to, I'm like, you gotta do it. You know what I
That's
mean? You're doing
exactly what I was just gonna ask you. I was just gonna ask you what you got some tips and tricks for the people, some motivational. What you got?
well. What sugar? I got sugar. So I would say, go after whatever you feel you're capable of. Put forth effort and intention into anything and everything that you do. Really manifest your life because it is very much obtainable. You can literally live the life of your dreams if you work for it, if you believe in it, and if you manifest it into your life through your words that you say, through what you write on your journal or paper or on your freaking notes on your phone, what you keep around you, what you consistently see, that all affects the road that you're headed. So make sure that you keep it all positive and that everything that you do just brings you joy so that it can be effortless.
Yes. And on that note, we're gonna keep it with joy. Leslie, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, LEZLEE09. That's me. And then I have a website, but it has nothing there but some information about me. So if you click my bio, you can go in there too. And you can find me soon on TV because I just did a commercial. So you'll see me there soon.
I am excited for you, Leslie. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was such a pleasure. Go check
Thank
out my girl. Check her
you.
Instagram. She's super dope.
Yes, thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.